Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm doing 9 holes where I'm just going to be playing with irons only off the tee. I like to do this as a different variation in my practice because it gives me obviously different shots into the greens and tests slightly longer approaches. So let's see how I get on. I had the extra challenge of the weather being so windy and quite a lot of rain, so it made the course play even longer as I was hitting irons off the tee. First hole then, just trying to hit the 2-iron up there and fade it around the dogleg. Just hit a pretty straight one though. This left me with 152 and quite a lot downwind, so I was just trying to play a little 9-iron in here with the pin being kind of front left on a little bit of an upslope, so just wary of how much it was going to draw off that. The approach shot I just left out to the right a little bit, so it was good distance, but I got around 35 feet for birdie down the slope, and as you can see the wind is really whipping off the left here, so actually trying to play for that as well. Pretty good speed and a solid par to start. Hole 2 then, par 5, wind down off the right, and where I'm hitting the 2-iron off the tee, it actually plays quite narrow because the trees pinch in, so I've got to really focus on my target here and try and make a good swing on this. Thought I hit a pretty good tee shot there, but it just drew slightly on the wind, and I'm now just off the fairway in an absolutely buried wet rough lie, so could only get a 9-iron on this to lay up and leave myself a wedge in. Hit a good layup which left myself 97 yards to this pin, and wind was again down off the right, so really trying to focus on my distance control with this shot. I absolutely flagged it and I thought it was really good, but it just skipped a little long, and this left myself a putt for birdie which I just missed but make a solid par. Hole 3, playing absolutely miles back into the wind now, and went with a little 6-iron from 180 yards, but this was not a good swing. Pulled it slightly left, and now I've got quite a hard chip out of the wet rough lie sort of over the green and giving myself a chance to save par. Played it pretty good, but it was always going to release, so got a putt here for par from about 12 feet but just off the green, so let's see if we can avoid the bogey. Thought I made it, but just slightly too firm, so that would be the first drop shot of the day. Hole 4 then, playing back into the wind off the right still, so this was playing super long and just trying to hit an absolutely stinger 2-iron down there. Hit a good shot here, but still got 190 into an absolute hurricane, and trying to hit a stinger 4-iron down there and give myself a chance anywhere on the green I will take from this shot. My best swing of the day so far, it just came up slightly short, but this left myself quite a simple little chip here, so it should be quite a simple up and down to save par. Playing this with a little gap wedge, just trying to sort of chase it up there a little bit, allowing for the skid in the rain. Hit a really nice chip and a solid 4 on a tough hole. Hole 5, and we now have the wind down out the left, so trying to hit like a high 2-iron to ride that wind and get it up this hill as much as I can. My best 2-iron shot of the day, but still left myself 160 here with the ball above my feet, wind off the left, and went with a solid 8-iron here, so just trying to hold it up in that wind. This was a great shot and a good chance for birdie to get back to level par from about 6 feet. So back to level par and onto hole 6, par 5, wind down off the right again. So just trying to use the 2-iron to ride the wind and get it up there as far as I can. Just pushed it a little bit and into the semi-rough, which again was pretty buried, so could only get a 9-iron on this to lay up and leave myself a shot into the green. This left me 152, wind down off the right to a kind of front middle pin. Going with a little 9-iron again here, just trying to use the wind a little bit just to get it in there nice and close. Slightly overturned it. This left me a birdie chance from about 20 feet across the slope, and again just really trying to feel the speed and also just factor in the wind off the right with the left to right break. And we will take that back-to-back birdies to get to 1 under. Hole 7, par 3, playing again an absolute mile into the wind. Trying to hit a 5-iron in here. The drizzle was coming down quite a lot at this point, and I hit a really good shot, but just kind of floated on the wind slightly and came up a little bit short, but left myself a fairly simple chip here, just trying to judge landing it above the slope there and the skid, and played it really nice. Eighth hole, again wind into off the left, par 4, and I went with a 4-iron here because there was some bunkers that come into play at about 220 off the tee, so I thought 2-iron potentially would reach those. Hit a really nice shot here though. This left me 135 to the pin and wind off the left, and I thought with the wet lie, tried to hit a really good wedge here, almost treating it like a flyer, and it came out absolutely perfect. Got around 5 feet for birdie and to get to 2 under with a little bit right to left on this putt. So managed to get to 2 under, and we come to hole 9, par 4. Rain is really coming down at this point and the wind into off the right. Again, just trying to hit a flighted 2-iron down there and get it in the fairway. Hit a good 2-iron there, but this left me 167 Again, wind against off the right, but off the downslope. And I went with the 7-iron here because I thought the slope would naturally keep it lower for me under the wind. So just trying to hit a little hold up 7-iron to a pin that was on the back level of the green. So just trying to get it pin high as best as I can. I just pulled it a touch, but the wind actually never really hit it. So this is long on the green. It pitched just past pin high and came all the way behind the green here. So got quite a tricky shot here. The ball was sitting up a little bit, so trying to hit like a almost decelerating 60 there. Hit a really good shot, but got around 8-9 feet for par and a big right to left break here. So this would be really nice to save par and get out with 2 under and a really solid performance. Just caught the side door and a really decent 9 holes there with tricky conditions, so we'll take that for sure.